All right, thanks, guys. We went 3-1 yesterday in our premium sports picks on patreon.com/Brock Page, coming off a 75% day on a Monday. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in just a moment. But let's go ahead and handicap our first match of the day. And it's going to be in the Russian Liga Pro Table Tennis Organization. And I'm talking about Dmitry Kolesnikov taking on Igor Smirnov. 4 o'clock Eastern start time. Smirnov's lost his last 3 straight and posted a record of just 2-5 straight up in his last 7. Kolesnikov on the other side has been red hot as of late, winning 5 out of his last 6 straight. He defeated Volkov, Gribkov, and Petrov during that stretch. He also dominated Smirnov in their last head-to-head matchup, 3-0. I like Dmitry in this spot here. Give me Dmitry Kolesnikov, winning that one outright for some moneyline cash. And with that, before we go ahead and move on, I just want to take a quick timeout and welcome you to the show. Got some lines and purslines out for Tuesday's Russian Liga Pro table tennis action. Happy Tuesday to you. Hopefully you're having a good start to the week. Now, before we go ahead and move on with the program, I just want to quickly remind you once again to check me out on my website at patreon.com/Brock Page, where once again we went 3-1 yesterday in our 4 premium sports picks on that website. Once again, good for 75% on a Monday. That's also going to improve our record to 3-1 in our last 4 daily best play tier package plays on that site as well. We do daily premium sports picks on that website beginning at just $1.99 through the end of the month. We also have a bunch of different memberships, tiers, and packages that you can subscribe to. Currently, we have well over 600 members currently signed up and active on that page. Now, you might be wondering, why would all those folks sign up to receive Patreon picks where they can get them all here for free on YouTube? And that's certainly a great point, a great thought, a great concern. But there is a big problem with me handicapping every single game on the board, side and total. And the problem is this: if you were to bet every single game on the board that I put here on YouTube, side and total with your hard-earned money, believe it or not, you are guaranteeing yourself failure. No, you're not mishearing me. If you're going to bet every single game that's on the slate with your hard-earned money, that's certainly not a winning formula for success. As a matter of fact, it's a recipe for disaster. The books are way too smart. They're way too sharp. They have a lot more money than you and I do to be able to absorb that kind of action. And most important, the math becomes aggressively against you the more games you play like that. The more and more games you play, the more egregious the math becomes against you. So what I do on Patreon is I make life a lot easier for you. I break it down and focus in on just 3 to 4 premium selections per day, high percentage picks, games that I personally have action on. And I'll tell you this much, my current Patreon record is a whole lot better than it is here on YouTube, handicapping every single game on the board, side and total. And the good news is this: if you want to check out my current Patreon record, you can do that for free right now. It's located right on the homepage. All you have to do is click the link in the description section below. Once again, that is patreon.com/Brock Page. And without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive back into some more free lines and personalines right here on YouTube. As always, all starts are Eastern Standard Time. And on deck, our next match I have for you, it is going to be Oleg Kutusov versus Vlad Nemeshkalo, 4 o'clock Eastern start time. Vlad's ice cold right now, losing his last 7 straight. He was also shut out in 2 out of those 7 losses. Kutusov on the other side is 4-1 in his last 5, with marquee wins over Sadkov and Ermolov. He also beat Nemeshkalo 3-2 in their last meeting. I'm going to give the edge to Oleg. Give me Oleg Kutusov winning this one straight up in a close one. Next contest, it is going to be Andrei Sadkov squaring off against Ilya Novikov, 4:30 Eastern start time. Novikov's won his last 5 straight matches, with victories coming against Kutusov and Ermolov during that stretch. Andrei Sadkov on the other side has dropped 5 out of his last 6. and was shut out twice during that stretch. He also lost to Ilya 3-1 in their last meeting. I got to fade Andre in this spot here. Give me Ilya Novikov winning that one outright for some moneyline cash. Next matchup, it is going to be Alex Petrov versus Dmitrievich Volkov in a 4:30 Eastern showdown. Volkov has dropped 3 out of his last 4 matches. Meanwhile, Petrov on the other side has garnered himself marquee victories over the likes of Gribkov and Kolesnikov within his last handful of matches. I'm going to lean Petrov in this spot here. Give me Alex Petrov winning this one straight up in a close one. Next battle, it is going to be, once again, Vlad Nemeshkalo, this time taking on Andrei Sadkov, 5 o'clock start time. Nemeshkalo's lost his last 8 straight and was shut out in 3 out of those defeats there. Sadkov on the other side has garnered himself some solid victories over the likes of Ermolov and Pavlenko. This is a pure fade of the struggling Nemeshkalo. Give me Andrei Sadkov winning that one outright in a competitive contest. Next game, Igor Smirnov versus Dmitry Volkov, 5 o'clock Eastern start time. Volkov once again lost 3 out of his last 4 matches. Smirnov beat Volkov in convincing fashion, 3-1 in their last head-to-head gathering. Should be a pretty competitive matchup here. That said, I'm going to fade Dmitry in this spot. Give me Igor Smirnov winning that one straight up for some moneyline cash. Next contest, it is going to be Ilya Novikov taking on Oleg Kutusov in a 5:30 p.m. face-off. Kutusov's won 4 out of his last 5 with 3 shutout victories during those games. He beat Nemeshkalo, Sadkov, and Ermolov in his most recent cluster of matches. Novikov on the other side was shut out 3-0 in one of his recent meetings with Oleg. We're going to have ourselves a live dog in this one. Give me Oleg Kutusov winning that one in a tight one. All right, next matchup I have for you. It is going to be Alex Petrov squaring off against Dmitry Kolesnikov in a 5:30 gathering. Kolesnikov is 5-1 straight up in his last 6. Petrov's dropped 6 out of his last 8 himself. Alex was also shut out in 2 out of those 6 losses. Looks like a pure fade of Petrov in this spot here. Give me Dmitry Kolesnikov winning this one outright for some moneyline cash. Next matchup, Dmitry Kolesnikov right back on the table, this time taking on Alex Dmitrievich Volkov, 6 o'clock Eastern start time. Volkov is just 2-4 straight up in his last 6, losing 2 matches to Kolesnikov during that stretch. Dmitry on the other side is once again 5-1 straight up in his last 6, while also beating Volkov 3-2 respectively in their last 2 meetings. Gotta fade Volkov in this spot here. Give me Dmitry Kolesnikov beating Volkov in a very competitive match. Next game, it is going to be, well, next match. I keep saying game, force of habit. But anyway, it's going to be Oleg Kutusov taking on Andrei Sadkov, 6 o'clock Eastern start time. Sadkov has dropped 5 out of his last 6. He was also shut out in 3-0 in his last 2 head-to-head matchups with Oleg. And speaking of Oleg, he's won 2 out of his last 3, while also going 4-2 straight up in his last 6. Marquee wins over Nemeshkalo and Ermolov during that stretch. I think Oleg has the clear advantage in this contest. Give me Oleg Kutusov winning this one outright. Next contest, it is going to be Vlad Nemeshkalo versus Ilya Novikov, 6:30 p.m. Eastern start. Novikov's won his last 5 straight, 6-1 straight up in his last 7. Nemeshkalo on the other side, smack dab in the middle of an 8-match losing streak. I had to fade Vlad in this spot here. Give me Ilya Novikov winning that one straight up for some money line cash. And with that, I'm going to slide in my next and final contest for the show. It is going to be Igor Smirnov taking on Alex Petrov, 6:30 Eastern start time. Petrov's dropped 3 out of his last 4. He's also just 2-6 straight up in his last 8. He was shut out twice during that stretch of losses. Smirnov on the other side beat Petrov 3-2 in their prior head-to-head meeting. I'm going to give the slight edge to Igor in this spot here. Give me Igor Smirnov winning this one straight up in a close one. All right, guys, let's go ahead and slide into some shout-outs. Once again, brought to you by patreon.com/BrockPage. where we went 3-1 yesterday in our premium picks on that website. Shout out to Yenny Tun, Mario Lunar, Brent Hall, Zymar Trax, James Medina, Browns 2220, LA Bautabagdo, Jack Peters, Sandbox Mafia, Gigi Galashvili, Jonathan Cabrera, Layla W., and last but certainly not least, gotta give a shout out to Stephen Lewis. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. I gotta thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. Happy Tuesday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage.